Thank you, Ashwin, and thank you to Enterprise Innovation Summit team for giving me the opportunity to speak in this forum. I'm happy to represent my company, Capgemini. My name is Vijay Gurumurthy. I'm part of Director, Enterprise IT, or Corporate IT. Today, I'm going to talk about how Capgemini adopted a technology platform called automation for connected enterprise. Why I call it connected enterprise? The reason being large enterprises have multiple technologies which are being consumed by the employees and by the networking teams. Like we have network switches, we have cloud management services, we have endpoint services, we have security, we have other services which are employee engagement services. Now, all these work in silos, right? We have different management platforms, different uh, employees managing these platforms, and there is no one technology which connects all of these. That is why I call it as connected enterprise. Automation brings in all this connectivity together. It provides an actionable insights to the senior management, and also it provides a clear visibility on what actions needs to be done during a particular incident or particular action to be taken. You know, if there is an outbreak, if there is some services to be bring on or bring off, right? So automation makes all that work together. As we know, I'm from Capgemini. It's a global leader. We have about 290,000 employees worldwide. We operate from 50 different countries. We have about 16 billion euros in revenues, and our focus area is on cloud, data, AI, connectivity, and digital engineering. If you look at the number of employees, 290K is a very large number for an enterprise like us. And you can imagine kind of the setup what we have to manage or provide services to this large number of employees worldwide. Each countries have different compliance requirements. Each country comes with different customer requirements, right? So we as a corporate IT needs to cater to all these business. You could imagine that if there was no automation, what would have happened, right? It's so much of manual process, so much of ineffective way of doing things. So automation was very key for Capgemini to leap forward into the next generation of providing better services to our employees and our customers. Why enterprise automation is essential? It's very critical for us to know that if I am adopting a new technology, is it really essential for me? Why it is essential? Because as we know, there is a lot of a traditional way. We have a very lengthy manual deployment process. It goes to multiple steps, multiple approval process, procurement process. There is a lot of delay in the way things are delivered to customers. Then there is a lack of cost visibility in terms of how much I'm spending for this infra, how much is my requirement for the resources to be utilized, am I effectively doing or I'm not doing effectively. All this visibility needs to be brought into the system. Then we have a very slow implementation process. We have to interact with multiple teams. Like if there is a project which is going to kick off in next 2 weeks, right? The implementation of network connection to customer networks, then bringing in the hardware required, bringing in the people, the infra requirements, the workspace requirement, all this too much of effort and time consuming process. Now, how much of it can be optimized is to be understood by the organization so that we can get away from those slow implementation processes. Then we have, this is called inflexible workload placements, where we buy certain number of infrastructure, certain number of services, but because of this manual process, manual implementation, we don't optimally utilize the infra. Some resources are overutilized, some are underutilized, and we need to get a clear visibility how our workloads are placed so that we can bring in a better usability for the infrastructure. Then we have applications and services in silos. employee engagement applications, there are a lot of cloud applications which we use, and we have multi-cloud usage like GCP, AWS, and Azure, and we have our own private cloud within multiple data centers, and there are other services which are being rendered. And all of these are working in different silos. They have different management data planes, and there's no connectivity between these two for us to make an actionable work, so that we should be able to deliver better services to customer and employees. Whenever there is a change in the organization, there is two kinds of people. One is acceptance for a technology. One has hesitance to use the technology because they don't know whether this is going to bring in benefits to an employee, benefits to as an individual, or benefits to the team. Right? So these two kinds of people are there. Now, when we do a change, right, there is a lot of pushback also comes from different sets of people. So what we did as an organization is we demonstrated a certain capabilities, how automation can benefit for the employees, for the customers, and for the betterment of using this technology. When we did an internal survey post doing this demo for our employees, this is the result we got. Right, 62% said automation brings in new opportunities. 62% of them, they thought automation is not bringing them anything new. It's the same task I'm doing, right? Instead of doing manually, I'm going to do scripting. No, the advantage what we got doing it is, it's not one task or one activity which is being done. I'm able to bring in multiple platforms together and provide a new opportunity for employees to think, right? From a traditional thinking, you move to a very important mindset change, which happens, which brings in a different level of way you have to function. Then 57 said it improves productivity. Traditionally, every employee comes in morning, they have a checklist, they go through 1, 2, 3, 4, whether they are able to, whether backup is ready, my services are ready, my certain important activities are done or not. So those are monotonous work an employee do. Can I do an automation to that? Can I cut down those hours of work which every day is done by just improvising it, by introducing automation to those tasks, and I just get a mail showing what are the 10 tasks which I'm doing every day. Is it completed, not completed, and what is the status? Thereby, I am reducing the time and effort of every day for last so many months and improve the employee's productivity. Right? When I improve my productivity, I get more time to learn better things and put my effort into something which can improve as a team, improve as an individual, and provide necessary productivity gain to the organization. It also, 55% said it improves the operating cost. Cost is an important factor for every organization, right? Whether it is a team or it is a department or finally the whole organization, right? The cost plays very important role. Now, every time we deploy a technology, the question asked is how much of cost optimization can be done using this technology. Now, it is impossible for us to provide a direct answer unless we demonstrate that by providing statistics on what was the current state of activities being done by employees, and by adopting this technology, how much I have improved the productivity gain and how much resource utilization I did across multiple platforms, thereby reducing the cost. Right? These are very important steps when we take internally. It provides the confidence to the organization. It provides the confidence to the senior management, saying, yes, we are on the right track and we are able to provide the best opportunity for our employees. The most important, the best part of doing the automation is improves customer experience, which is so critical for every organization. When I give back number of hours to my employees, right, thereby they are able to work better, They are able to provide much better services to my customers. They have more time to engage in learning the requirements. They have more time to deliver to my customers. My turnaround time to my customers reduce. So this is very critical to our business, and it also very critical the way corporate IT is able to deliver quick services to our employees, thereby improving our internally our customers globally. Why did Capgemini embrace automation in the enterprise? There are multiple benefits. It reduces the business impact. I am able to monitor using automation what are my critical business services which are running, right? What is the status of it? If there is something predictive failure is expected, I can take a quick action on it, and thereby providing highly available services so that my business continues to work the way they are doing it and reduce the business impact. And optimize cost. Like I said, this is very critical for every technology. Because you spend a lot of money, we should be able to provide them how I am able to optimize my cost by adopting this technology. Optimizes performance. Large enterprises have large setup, right? We have a big virtual platform setup. We have a lot of the physical hardware setup. Now, there is always an ambiguity whether whatever I have, am I able to use it optimally, right? Automation brings in that efficiency to showcase that these are the resources not being utilized for past 2 months, 3 months, 6 months by employees, or these are the resources which are underutilized. Now, I can claim those resources and provide it to my other projects, other customer requirements. Thereby, I'm able to optimize my performance. Not only that, I'm able to also reclaim certain resources, whether it is a storage or any infra resources, and provide it for high performance requirement, thereby not spending cost in other ways, right? Within the same infra, I reutilize, I provide to other projects, other customers, thereby I'm able to optimize the performance. Security and compliance. Compliance is very critical to ensure that we are secured. It could be server compliance, endpoint compliance, or any endpoint devices, my perimeter devices, or my cloud applications or cloud infra services. We have a checklist of baselining certain minimum requirement for these applications. Now, if you have a very large setup, it is very difficult for any team to go check whether I'm optimally compliant, right? There are baselines requirements, which whether every services which are under, are they optimally done, right? So automation brings in this compliance check where I can run a scheduled run books, which will tell me that all these hundreds of servers are compliant, and these are a couple of servers which are recently deployed, or these are services which are recently given to the customers are non-compliant. So take immediate action. Coming to security, you have endpoint security or perimeter security. We have a lot of this security on the cloud, right? Now, how do we ensure that we as a company are secured, whether you're on-prem or you're in private cloud or on cloud? So these checks using automation provides us the visibility whether I'm compliant and what actions to be done. If there is a risk identified in either in cloud or in private cloud or an endpoint anywhere, I'm able to get that visibility and integrate with my other endpoint technology to take actionable actions on these endpoints, so that the risk is minimized or risk is mitigated. Improve employee productivity. Like I said, every technology provides a betterment to our employees and customers. I reduce the time, effort required by the employee, and I provide them the more time so that they can work on critical projects, bring in more business, and provide my customers what they required before the commitment of deliveries. These improved productivity which improves employee performance, which also improves our infrastructure performance, which also helps employees to learn certain new technologies so that they will be able to deliver better to our customers. This is a important skill booster for many of our IT team. Why? Because it changes the way you think from your traditional approach to a different mindset for learning automation. Right? The word automation could show or tell us it is very simple, but when you actually get into doing an automation work, it needs a different level of thinking. Right? It needs how a particular action which I was doing manually, how each step are dependent on each other for a particular action to complete, right? And once a particular action is done, how I need to integrate to a third-party system, right, or third-party applications to connect and make those actions done. So these integration piece gives a different level of thinking, and it provides a different skill, right? It provides a skill booster for employees to making them learn, different technology and different way of thinking, so that it is not something which people will resist to learn, but they'll say, yeah, this is good for the company, good for an individual. Very, very critical for employees being automation skill booster. This is the technology landscape. These are conservative numbers. As you know, we are about 290K at 52 countries. We have core data centers in India and Paris, and these are distributed across multiple offices. We have around 15,000 plus physical and virtual infrastructure in critical data centers. We have about 10,000 plus switches in offices, critical data centers, switches, then small offices, then medium-sized offices. Then we have close to 9,000 plus wireless access points. These are for employees to connect any office and from anywhere, they'll be able to get their resources connected. We have 50 plus cloud applications. These are mostly employee engaging applications, like expenses, like messaging and collaboration tools. And we have about 2,000 plus routers across multiple countries and on many critical data centers. We have about 800 plus network devices. These are different types of devices like WAF services, the cloud-based firewalls. We have network VPN concentrators and a large set of load balancers to provide availability to our employees and applications. Automation, can automation do everything independently? Definitely not, right? Automation integrates with multiple services to deliver what it is supposed to do as a completion of a task, right? We have done automation integration with the ITSM, which is nothing but the ticketing system. And we have a very core asset management system, which is the CMDB. Every asset across the globe, endpoint to perimeter to cloud, every asset information is captured within the CMDB. Why that is critical is for us to know if there is a particular outage or if there is a particular risk associated. What are the assets which are impacting those risks, so that I'll get visibility if a particular project is getting affected or if a particular business is getting affected. This indirectly links to the business, reduce the business impact. So asset monetization, asset is very critical for the automation to function in a well-connected manner. The next layer is the security. Security is about endpoint security, my perimeter security, cloud security, right? My antivirus. Then we have a security which is called SOAR. We have multi-connected environment where we bring in lots of logs to take actions. Security, once we have this integration in place, what we could do is identify a risk, and then take an actionable insights and action on a particular risk, remediate it, either bring it to network or quarantine those devices. So this integration is very critical. Then AI ops, which is event-driven services, where I'm able to visualize my entire application landscape, identify whether there is a critical component failure or critical services which are going to fail, and based on that event, I can take an action and remediate that action. So yeah, apps plays a very critical role there. Then we have tons of cloud services like the GCPs of the world, AWS of the world, Azure of the world, and a lot of these application provisioning in messaging, Office 365, and other services. Now there has to be a mechanism where I auto provision employee onboarding, messaging onboarding, right? All these are regular services which we need to render to the customers. Automation brings in those facility where the employee onboards, whatever the minimum services are required for him to be functional. All these are provisioned using the automation services. Then we have very large virtual infra services, which are provided for our projects, customers, test and dev environment. And we host a lot of critical applications which are customer facing. And these have to be integrated for us to identify and provide critical events or critical services to be monitored using the automation. These services, if we are able to provide using automation, I bring in a better employee productivity, a better customer experience. I will walk you through about, on the time which saved by adopting the automation within Capgemini. Virtual infra provisioning, we were able to save about 630,000 minutes. This includes the wait time for the employee from the time they make a request and the time services are delivered to the employee. And the time also includes the employee, the IT employee who involves in provisioning the required services for the project. Then we have multi-cloud management and security checks. We were able to save nearly 1 million minutes for the organization. And we have a lot of these business applications, where we have different softwares which are required to deliver. It could be a client from Visual Studio or SAP client or services which are in cloud. So we are able to deliver a faster provisioning for this business application and save nearly 198,000 minutes. These are on an average taken month to 2 months. So this will vary depending on the number of requests we get. Sometimes we get new projects, so we have a very high requirements of provisioning, right? And there are sometimes project gets closed, so there are certain times we have less number of minutes to be provisioned. Network provisioning. These are specific cases where we have a customer engagements where they need a very specific security requirements, very specific routing to be done, very specific customer provisioned securities framework which they provide. So making these operational is quite time consuming for us, right? We were able to even automate these requirements and able to save nearly 96,000 minutes. Regular checks, application and server status, which is an ongoing process every day, employees do. By automating this, we were able to save close to 600 minutes. The server status check is that it links to the business impact. If I'm able to identify and provide a better service, my business impact is reduced. And these automation tools help you do all these automated check for applications or server status, thereby reducing the wait time, or reducing the wait time of employee, and give productivity back to the employees. The last is the compliance check. As we know, we get regularly audited for different certifications. So compliance check becomes very critical. Servers have to be at this level of compliance. My endpoint has to be at this level of compliance. My cloud services, whatever is deployed has to be at particular level of compliance. These checks are, which was done earlier manually, we were able to automate it and save about 320,000 minutes. So what did we achieve by doing all this? Right? It's a large enterprise. We did a lot of technology changes. We adopted newer technology. We integrated so many different technologies with automation. So what did we achieve doing it? We reduced major incidents. We reduced downtime and business impact. We reduced the incident tickets for our customers, and we were able to provide proactive monitoring and also predictive failures. These services or these monitoring or incident management, no doubt, is very critical, because if I'm able to identify and take immediate action even before a failure happens, I'm thereby giving reducing my business impact and reducing my major incidents. Then we have automated incident resolution, which improves the employee performance, accelerated identification troubleshooting. Even before a risk is identified by an NOC, my system automation is able to identify it and take immediate action. Then it's a self-healing process, right? Risk identified, you get an alert. Security says, yes, this is a high risk. Then there is a trigger which goes to the automation. Automation based on the risk, it is able to take action. So it's an automated self-healing process. No one gets involved. We have built a framework which helps you get into this self-healing process. Then automate vulnerability management. This is an ongoing process for any organization. New changes happen, new application are installed, new OS update happens, vulnerability keeps happening. So we have to be compliant, and 15,000 plus devices, making it compliant is quite challenging, right? How we can bring down the time spent using automation. And baseline and software version and configuration, right? If I am delivering a particular resources to my customers or for my employee for a test and dev environment, we have set guidelines which says these are the minimum baselines which are required to be compliant even before the employee connects to the resources and start using it. Right? My automation is able to deliver those kinds of services. Speed up my cyber event analysis. From the identification to risk mitigation and to integration and making alert to my cybersecurity team, all these are done seamlessly using automation. And automated whitelisting and blacklisting, these are sometimes happens because of very customers, very specific says only these services have to be allowed, these URLs have to be allowed, these IPs have to be allowed. So automation helps you key in those information, then it goes and puts it across multiple devices wherever we have customer connects. Automate business service request, where we get application deployment requests, infra requirements, cloud requirements. We are able to deliver better using automation. What we also done is self-service request, where we have a portal where employee goes in and selects what kind of services he require, whether it's a cloud or it's an on-prem or a private cloud with particular specs and particular application being deployed. So once the employee chooses that and then submits it, everything gets provisioned automatically, and then he gets an email which gives the details about what application, what is the resource, what is the IP address, how does he connect. It goes to the employee. He's able to access it seamlessly. The backend are completely automated, but for an employee, it's so easy for him to use the self-service. Network provisioning. If you are on virtual infra, if you have to deploy multiple test dev, you have to move certain resources across. You need to have a very clear network provisioning where the particular resource should not talk to another resource. Particular infra should not move from one particular environment to another particular. These are done in network provisioning, whereby these services or given the way it has to be delivered to our projects. Then it is zero touch provisioning. Sorry, it's a zero touch provisioning. Employee can choose what he wants, what the applications he wants, and deliver automatically to the employees. So does business benefit from automation? Should company really embrace automation? No doubt, every organization, medium or enterprise has to look at automation, which is a key driver for them to give better services to customers and employees. Automation leads to a better organization, and it improves customer experience. It eliminates time-consuming tasks and provides a better time for employees to work on multiple projects. It improves employee productivity, and it eliminates human errors, which is very critical, and provides a better service to the organization and to the team. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity to speak in this summit. My coordinates are in the slides. If you wish to connect with me, please send me an email. I'll be glad to help. Thank you very much.